Hey guys, Marissa at kitchentablestamper.com. I'm here today to share the Share a Milkshake Stamp-A-Stack with you. Now this is a Stamp-A-Stack card class. It's 5 cards, 2 designs, and there is an optional class packet available, kitchentablestamper.com/shop. This is a Wonder Recipe number 6 Stamp-A-Stack, and there is this time something a little new, an optional stamp camp that coordinates. So what does that mean? Well, there's another class coming. You can take the Share a Milkshake stamp camp online with an optional packet, and if you buy the Share a Milkshake stamp camp packet and the Share a Milkshake Stamp-A-Stack packet, you'll receive $5 off of the packets. All right, check out kitchentablestamper.com/shop to see if there are packets available for this class. I'm going to get into my packet here, and in this packet you get a quarter of a package of the Country Floral Lane Designer Series paper. So that's 2 6x6 sheets of each of the designs, and we're going to choose 2 patterns that we like. I'm going to do my second stack of cards the same as the first. So I'm going to use this one with the little X's and O's and hearts, this petal pink one, and then the stripe. Let's cut these according to Wonder Recipe number 6, and that will give us all the Designer Series paper for our Stamp-A-Stack of cards. All right, so both of these have a directional pattern. I want to have my X's and O's to read with the hearts up, and the hearts all go the same way, so it isn't random. And then I want my stripes to be horizontal. So let's go ahead and put these with the direction that we want them up, and then we're going to cut at 3 inches. Then we're going to rotate, and we're going to cut off 2-inch pieces. And you'll see we've got our stripes going in the right direction and our hearts going in the right direction. If you don't have directional paper, then no need to set that right first. Now I'm going to take each of these little pieces, and I'm going to pop one of each just right into my grid here. I love these Wonder Recipes. They are 1-sheet wonders for 6x6 Designer Series paper. So you cut the paper up, and then you mix and match the pieces until they're all done making cards. The nice part about the Wonder Recipes is there are 21 of them, so lots to keep you busy. And you can sort the Wonder Recipes when you're on the blog by Wonder Recipe number. So for each Wonder Recipe, there's lots and lots of inspiration and ideas. All right, so we've got our 2 pieces now cut according to the Wonder Recipe. This is design number 1. This is the one that we're doing first. Life is Sweeter, and the kit makes 2 of this design. This is a 2-part video series. I'll see you in the next video where we'll make the Celebrate card, and the Stamp-A-Stack makes 3 of this design. So I'm going to grab my kits here, and you'll find that you've got your card base and it's all scored for you. We do the die cutting of any basic shapes. So here we have our little label, and each of the card kits has all of its parts contained inside the mailing envelope for you to use. Let's take our Designer Series paper, and we're going to pick up 3 of these stacks, and now we're going to divide them between the 2 cards. So we'll have one that gets like this paper and one that gets like this paper. See? All right, but first things first, I have embossed my card base, and I am going to carry on with that. I'm using the gingham embossing folder. I chose this one because I thought it kind of looked like a waffle cone, but you can go ahead and emboss your card bases with whatever pattern you want. If I was doing this again today, and I almost thought about changing it up for this set, I'd probably grab the little crosshatch pattern that's in the new 3D basic embossing folders that are part of the March online exclusive. So a lot of different patterns will look lovely here, and you can just choose one that that you have on hand. If you're looking for this gingham folder, you can shop 24/7 at marissaAlvarez.stampinup.net. Right, this is a standard folder, and I'm going to do the whole card front. So I'm going to pop the front or the back of the card all the way through the machine, square up the folder, and I'm running it through sideways. If you're not comfortable doing this, feel free to cut a piece of mint macaron cardstock and make a card front that is, you know, maybe 5 1/4 by 4 and emboss that. But if you're going to do this technique, you want to really take care that your embossing folder is between the plate, squared up with the platform, and that it's going to go through the machine without scraping along the inner edges of the machine. You don't want to scrape the fold off of your folder. And it's possible that if this edge of the folder runs against this edge of the machine, you can scrape the fold right off the folder, rendering it useless. So if you're going to do this technique, please do it with care. I love the way it looks. So I would suggest that you do and take your time and be very careful about running it, because this edge to edge emboss looks really cool. But if you're nervous, please feel free to cut a card front. All right, so we've got our card fronts embossed. And let's go ahead and adhere our designer series paper. All right, I'm going to use liquid glue for this. I like the liquid glue when I'm adhering to an embossed texture, or when I'm adhering something with an embossed texture. It just gives a good grab on that bumpy surface underneath. And we're going to do the 2 same patterns kind of on the outside, and then the odd pattern in the center. We'll do the opposite patterns on our second card. Pretty excellent, huh? All right, let's grab our class packet again. And in the class packet, you have plenty of white cardstock for stamping your images, and you have your label already cut for you. So let's do some stamping. Share Milkshake is photopolymer, so let's get a Stampin' Pierce mat. And now, by the magic of television, I already have 1 Milkshake assembled and 1 banner stamped and cut. Let's do our second. This is Early Espresso, and I chose Life is Sweeter with You. I love this sentiment. I love this font too. And now I like to mix and match all the colors. So here is Mint Macaron, Petal Pink, Early Espresso. All of my cherries and my straws to bring the whole collection together are real red. But then here's a Milkshake with the Sweet Sorbet, Petal Pink, Early Espresso. And then this one that I did, Sweet Sorbet, Mint Macaron, and Early Espresso. So mix and match, make them as unique as you like. I have Mint Macaron, Petal Pink, Early Espresso, and Real Red here. Got a little crazy when we were doing some thank you cards with this bundle. Got a couple of extra cherries. So I am not going to stamp my cherries on video here, but I've got those. I did them with Real Red. And then I need a straw for my milkshake. I'm going to do that in Real Red. And then let's do that top layer, that Early Espresso, kind of looks like chocolate or chocolate fudge layer. Put that one. And you're going to do one for each of your cards right now. And have fun, mix and match a little bit and see what you come up with for the color combinations. And I did all of my toppings in the Early Espresso so that they look chocolate. Of course, you can mix those up too and have some different color combinations that way. I did them all the same And just so that for a set, a cohesive set, especially for photographing a whole set, that they would be all pretty consistent. But you can do whatever you want with these. If you stick to this color palette of Mint Macaron, Petal Pink, Early Espresso, Real Red, and Sweet Sorbet, and just mix it all up, you'll have beautiful cards. We're doing the glass now, and we're going to do the details of the glass in full strength Mint Macaron. Now for the background of the glass, we're going to grab our grid paper again, our mini grid paper, because we are going to do second generation for the glass. So we'll ink up, get full strength, tap off, and then we're going to line up, watching the landmarks, and stamp the rest of the glass. Isn't that cool, the effect that it gives with the two stamps in the first and second generation? All right, so you're going to stamp 2 of everything, and then let's get our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and cut these out. Now, besides the basic white cardstock in your kit, you'll find a sheet, quarter sheet of Sweet Sorbet and Early Espresso. We're going to grab those now and do some die cutting along with cutting out our images. For each of the cards, we're going to need 3 Sweet Sorbet hearts and the little Early Espresso grid. Now for the Early Espresso grid, I'm going to use the adhesive sheets. Now I had a couple of these adhesive sheets left from the previous Stampin' Up brand, and they're just as good. These are my old Stampin' Up ones, and I'm just trying to use them up. But the Stampin' Up adhesive sheets are absolutely wonderful. And what you want to do, so that you don't waste any of it, is check it out with the die that you're going to cut. So this is the die that we're going to cut. And if we did like 2 1/4 by 3, we'd have plenty of cardstock to cut. So you want to do 2 of those, 2 that are 2 1/4 by 3, using that piece that's in your kit. Now, if you're going to just glue it on with a little bit of liquid glue, that's fine. You don't need to cut it down quite as precisely. But the nice part about cutting it down precisely before you run it through the machine is that you don't waste a lot of your adhesive then. These sheets are fantastic and they make life so easy, but it's a shame to throw away if you don't need it. So I've just applied the adhesive to the piece that we trimmed down, almost exact to size. Now I'm going to cut it out from the backer. I'm going to throw away this loose piece. Now I have self-adhesive cardstock in Early Espresso. That's almost exactly the size that we need, so very little waste. All right. We're also going to cut the 3 little hearts, and these are all from the Share a Milkshake dies, our featured bundle. So of course this is our featured bundle. I didn't show you that yet. Share a Milkshake stamp set is a 16-piece photopolymer stamp set, and the Share a Milkshake dies can be bundled with to save 10%. All right, the same thing I'm going to do with my Sweet Sorbet. Just going to cut a little piece from the quarter sheet in the kit, and that way we can take up less space on our platform, and we can do all of our die cutting for one card at one time. So each card will take one pass through the machine because we have one of each die also. So let's get that set up and get it cranked. All right, so I've got it set, and as you can see, everything for one card, one pass. So you'll have to run 2 passes for 2 cards. And there's our pieces. I love getting everything in one pass. Seriously, if you guys know me at all, you know that if I get everything for a card in one pass, I love it. I feel like that's winning. All right, so let's bring our cards back in here. Let's assemble the little milkshake. Let me show you a couple of tips here. You're going to be assembling a lot of these, especially if you're doing the Stamp Camp and the Stamp-A-Stack. So let me show you a couple of little tips that I've worked out here to make these come together a little bit easier. All right, I've got my dimensionals and I've got both sizes and an end piece here because they are going to bump this up, but it's multiple parts. So what I like to do is turn over the glass, and on the left top edge, I'll hang a dimensional off the edge. Turn that over so that the sticky side is up. We're going to add the straw into the little slot and the milkshake. Isn't that adorable? So just slide that in. Now you can adhere the scoop of ice cream and the straw to the dimensional that's hanging off. And what that's going to do is it's going to grab the straw and the ice cream and bring this all together as one piece. Now on the back, I will now take some half dimensionals or some minis and add them to further secure the back here. Now I'm going to flip this over. Got my little espresso topping, and I'm going to add a little liquid glue, slide it right up underneath the straw, and adhere that. Then I'm going to take my cherry, add just the smallest dab of glue at the bottom of the cherry, pop that onto the espresso opposite the straw. I'll turn it over. Then I'm going to grab me another little mini dimensional and put that where the cherry and the espresso meet. So now we've got two pick and stick milkshakes, and look at the colors. Aren't they wonderful? All right, so then we're going to take this awesome die. Is that not just the coolest thing? Now if you just flick the edge of this against your thumb, just the soft part of your thumb, you should be able to lift the liner. Then as you lift the liner and peel it away, you're going to see that all those little squares, if you just roll it away as you go, most of them will just fall right out. The others, just a little flick. And now we've got this little sticky grid. Let's get all those pieces out of here. And we've got our milkshake. Let's peel the release on the dimensionals. We're going to put our milkshake in that first designer series paper, and then our little grid over that. And let's do that for our second copy of the card also. I do love that this die is self-adhesive. This die cut, I should say, is self-adhesive. It really is wonderful. And we'll just pop that down and burnish. All right, now our greeting and our ribbon. You've got some of this early espresso ribbon in your kit. There's half a spool of early espresso ribbon and half a package of these elegant faceted gems. So you get quite a lot of beautiful product in this kit. And of course, there's also 3 yards of linen thread. So let's get our ribbon and our linen thread. And for this card, you're going to want about 8.5 inches of early espresso ribbon. So we've got 2, 1 for each. I'm going to grab some tear and tape adhesive and my linen thread. So let's go ahead and fold the ribbon in half. And then what I like to do is flip over, and then we can add a little piece of tear and tape adhesive. So we're kind of making a loop. And we're holding the 2 ends of the ribbon together with that bit of tear and tape. Now we're going to add this ribbon right onto the card. So just remove that little bit of tear and tape. It's going to overlap the glass just a wee bit. And can tack that down. Now linen thread is going to go up underneath that loop. And then you can tie a bow. And you're going to cinch the end of the ribbon with a linen thread bow. So you're going to get some great textures here. And there's my bow. If you want to here, you can grab a bit more, either tear and tape, or you can use a mini glue dot underneath here, whatever you like. Just you want to add a little bit more secure, just pop a little strong adhesive right underneath there. Now, life is sweeter with you. All right, let's trim the tails here and add some dimensional to the back of our greeting. I'm going to add the dimensionals so that there's a channel the ribbon can run down. It kind of straddles the ribbon that way, and everything's well supported. All right, my greetings are ready and they're sticky. We'll just add them right up against that knot of linen thread there. And one more. All right, super cute, but not done. Let's get those little hearts. We've got the hearts that we cut, and I'm going to take some minis. I'm going to cut them in half. And then I'm going to take half and add half on the very top of the largest heart. Just like that. All right, I've got the liners removed, and I'm going to add a drop of glue on the opposite end. So we've got a little bit of two-level glue going on there. Bumped on the top and flat on the bottom. Just kiss those two together, and then we'll add our heart, the largest one, so that it straddles the greeting. And now the little ones with liquid glue. I like to share the glue. I find that I make a tidier finished project when I share the glue. Cute, right? All right, we're not done yet. Let's get those elegant fasten and gems, and take your pick tool. We're gonna add 3. I'm gonna do a big one, a little one, and another little one. Just kind of floating up with the hearts. And for this one, same thing. We'll do whatever color of the bunch you like. I've got the clear ones this time. I'll be mixing them all up. All right, you guys, that is card number 1 in the Kitchen Table Stamper Share a Milkshake Stamp-A-Stack card class. I will see you in video number 2, where we'll make this beautiful Celebrate card. If you've got any questions about the Stamp-A-Stack, about the Share a Milkshake Stamp Camp, about the discount that I'm offering or the online class, email marissa@kitchentablestamper.com to find the optional class packets or to purchase the online version of the Share a Milkshake Stamp Camp. Head over to kitchentablestamper.com/shop. And for Stampin' Up! Supplies, like the Share a Milkshake bundle, buzz over to marissaelvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.